Hello everyone, welcome to your physics class of class 7th. I hope you all will be fine. Students, today in this video we will study about speed of sound. Okay, so let's begin our class. We have read that sound cannot travel in vacuum. It can travel only in a medium, whether solid, liquid or gas. I have already explained you that sound needs a medium for its propagation. Okay, now if you watch a blacksmith while working, you will notice that sound produced on striking the hammer is heard a little later than when the hammer actually strikes. This shows that sound takes some time to travel a certain distance in a medium. Means sound reaches us after a certain time. Okay. Similarly, you must have noticed that in the rainy season, the sound of thunder is heard much later than the flash of light is seen. The reason is that light travels much faster than sound. It nearly takes a negligible time for light to reach us, while sound takes a much longer time to reach us. And this is a fact. This fact is used to estimate the speed of sound in air. Okay, so during thundering, you must all have noticed that light is seen first, and afterwards, the sound of thunder is heard because this is more than the speed of sound. Estimation of sound in air. To estimate the sound of air, suppose we choose two hills A and B a kilometer apart, and a person at the hill A fires a gun. Means the person that is standing on hill A fires a gun, and the another person that is at hill B starts a stopwatch as soon as he sees the flash of the fire and stops it and stops the stopwatch when the sound is heard of that fire. Then, thus he measures the time interval between seeing the flash and hearing of the sound on the stopwatch. And let it be t seconds, means the time on the stopwatch be t seconds. And then we can measure the speed of sound in between the hills A and B. And as we already know that speed of sound is speed is equals to distance upon time. Let d be the distance between the two hills and t be the time uh, that is uh, that is in the stopwatch. Okay, so the speed of sound between the two hills will be d upon t. Okay, and experimentally it is found that the speed of sound in air is nearly 330 meter per second. Okay, now speed of sound in different media. Okay, speed of sound in solid is 5000 meter per second, in liquids 1500 meter per second, and in gas 330 meter per second. You have to learn all these. Okay, reflection of sound. When sound strikes a hard surface, it returns back within the same medium like light. As you know that light after reflection, after striking a surface, returns back the same way sound also when it strikes returns back in the same medium. The return of sound after striking a surface is called reflection of sound. As the return of light after striking a surface is known as reflection of light, same way the return of sound after striking a surface is called reflection of sound. And reflection of sound also obeys the same two laws of reflection, that is the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection, and incident sound, reflected sound and normal are all in one plane. Okay, for reflection of sound the surface must be of bigger size. It may be smooth or hard. Okay, reflection of sound is used in making speaking tube or megaphone, soundboard and trumpet. Now, echo. You might have experienced that if you stand closer to a well facing water or at a large distance from the wall of a big empty hall and produce a sharp sound, you will hear two sounds. One the original one and the other the sound that is then after a fraction of second, means of one the original sound that is being produced and the second one after a fraction of second other than the other sound, the previous sound. And the second sound, which is heard after some time, is a sound produced after reflection, okay, from the wall of a hall, and this is called echo. Okay, so the reflection of sound is known as echo. Echo is a sound heard after reflection from a rigid surface such as a cliff, hillside, or wall of a building. To hear echo, sound after reflection from a rigid surface should reach the ear at least zero point 0.1 second after the original sound is heard. Why? Because the original sound persists its effect on the ear for about zero point 0.1 second. And if the reflected sound reaches the ear before this interval of time, it will intermingle with the original sound and it will not be possible for us to distinguish between the two sounds. So the sound that the to hear the echo means the sound after reflection. We To hear it, it must reach us means to our ears after zero point 0.1 seconds, because the original sound persists on our ears, means the effect of the original sound on our ear is about zero point 0.1 second. And if the reflected sound reaches us before this time, then though both the sounds, that is the original sound and the sound after reflection, merges together and we will not be able to distinguish between the two sounds. Okay, now we know that the speed of sound in air is 330 meter per second. In zero point 0.1 second, the sound will travel a distance of 33 meter. Now, since sound has to travel an equal distance in going up to the reflecting surface and then coming back from the reflecting surface, there must be then therefore it must travel nearly 16.5 meter either way, because the total distance to reach uh, to our ear is 33 meter. Okay, then for going and then for coming back means after reflection, then the distance between the reflecting surface and the source of sound, then the minimum distance must be 16.5 meter. Okay, so to hear echo clearly in air, reflecting surface should be at a minimum distance of 16.5 meter from the source of sound. Okay, now absorption of sound. When sound falls on sofa, fluffs, and light substances such as clothes, paper, thermocol, coating of plaster of Paris, carpet, curtains, furniture, etc., they absorb the sound to a good extent, and these are called good absorbers of sound. A soundproof box means an enclosure such as a theater or auditorium which does not allow internal sound to come out and the external sound to enter in. So, to design a box, we take following measures. First one is the roof of the enclosure must be covered by plaster of Paris after putting the sheets of thermocol so that the sound can be absorbed by the roof. Second, the walls of the enclosure should be covered by wooden strips. The floor must be laid down by thick carpets because they will absorb the sound. And the machine parts of all the electrical equipment such as fans, air conditioners, etc., must be placed outside the enclosure. The thick curtains should be used to cover the doors and keep them closed. Thick stripping must be used to cover the openings of doors and windows. This is how we can design a soundproof box. Okay, so you have to read this lesson. Okay, and also you have to learn the question answers of this lesson. So this is all for today. Thank you.